What is up, y'all? We are back with another episode of Pushing Buttons. This is episode 55. God damn, it feels good to be back. It feels like we haven't done one of these in a long time. Yeah, man. I am one half of the bromance B, and today I am joined by only one other person of the Pushing Buttons crew, because one of us is gone again. Seems to be the story of the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
The last month.
Somebody's
gone, and we have to do this ourselves. Anyway, I am joined by one of the lovely members of the Pushing Buttons crew. She's the very Instagrammable Miss IG her damn self, Claudia.
What's going on?
I'm not doing the whole long, elongated introduction today. Fine. It's cool. We're good. We're chilling. Today we're chilling. We got a fun little podcast for everyone today. This will be out Wednesday, I believe, and then Friday. I know a lot of people have been hitting us up wanting to. I had a few people hit me up, not a lot. A few people hit me up saying like, "Yo, where's the podcast at?" We're here. We're alive. We just haven't had time. We've been living life.
Yep.
Going to weddings and shit.
I know.
Watching people get married. Being grown-ups. Yeah. Claudia's been a grown-up. She's got a tan.
I do. I feel like I keep getting tanner and tanner because at work we have a patio area and I sit there during lunchtime and I'm just like...
Yeah, because I'm wondering how you keep getting the tan. Every week I come in here, or every time I've seen you at least, you're getting darker.
That's why. And the sun is like right there. So we all kind of sit there and just sunbathe while we're in lunch.
Mm-hmm. That's cheating, man. You can't do that. You look like you're on vacation mode the whole year. But yeah, we've been doing grown-up shit. So anyway, before we go around the room and see how everybody is doing, just you and me, we will let people know that we are on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and we are on Anchor for your ass. And we're on YouTube, so go subscribe. Keith would greatly appreciate it, even though he won't tell you. So we're going to go around this, well, just here, and see how everybody's doing. Claudia, how you be?
I'm good. I'm glad it's Friday.
Yeah.
I'm good.
It's a short week for me.
Yeah. It felt very short. Today felt like the day just flew by. I was like, oh.
Yeah. The rest of the week flew by for me too.
Yeah.
That's good. I'm glad you're doing good. Myself, I'm doing good. I'm excited. It's been a busy month and it just started. I feel like we've been doing a bunch of shit.
Yeah. Truly. September just been
chaotic.
Packed.
Chaotic.
Yeah.
We went to a wedding. I'd participated in a bunch of wrestling events.
Every time I see your story on Instagram,
I'm somewhere.
You're somewhere. Wrestling somewhere.
Yeah. There's always wrestling somewhere to be seen, to be supported. And so I'm out here doing my part for the creators. And also, what was I gonna say? Oh, I did want to come in here and say rest in peace, Michael K. Williams. I was a huge fan, and I'm bummed that he's gone. Very unfortunate. So
sorry.
You knew who he was?
Mm-mm.
No. Probably from The Wire. Guy has like a big gash on his face, like that goes from up here to here.
Maybe I'm horrible with names, but maybe
you probably if you see
the
person, you'd probably be I know who that is. They were in a lot of shows, The Wire, Boardwalk Empire. Yeah. So
I'm sorry for his loss.
Yeah. So he's unfortunately not here anymore. So I just want to say rest in peace, Michael K. Williams. I was a huge fan. So we're gonna get on with the shits, Claudia. What do you want to talk about first? Should we talk about? Let's get to it. Abortion laws. Right off the bat.
I was hoping you were not going to say that. I was like, oh.
You wanted a fun one to start it off.
Okay.
No, abortion laws. Let's go straight head on into abortion laws.
Okay.
For people that don't know what the fuck we're talking about, first of all, we're not an educational podcast.
No.
Nothing we say on here is fact. We don't fact check. We kind of just go on a whim and try to
Yes.
figure it out as we go.
Yes.
And I've listened back on a couple episodes and be like, damn, I didn't fucking do my Google. That was wrong.
It's just opinions.
Right. It's just
We're just
opinions.
talking.
We're
Yeah.
just talking on shit that we read and see. So apparently there is a huge abortion law going into play in Texas, right?
Yeah.
Where it's banning women from having abortions 6 weeks into their pregnancy, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
That's what I read.
And so there's a big, obviously, there would be a big, like, there's backlash for this, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's huge backlash. People aren't happy with it. I personally don't like it either. I'm sure, I don't know, Claudia can speak and tell y'all herself. But I don't think it's the right thing. I am what is it?
Pro-choice.
Pro-choice.
Yeah.
Pro-choice.
Yeah.
I'm pro-choice. I am not the other person, whatever, pro-life.
Pro-life,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, pro-life. I am pro-choice. I'm a big fan of that. It's your body.
Yeah.
You do what you got to do with it.
Yeah.
It's fucked up, man. We were reading some of the stuff before we got on here. They got like whistleblower websites where you can log on and fucking
That's
trick on
insane.
people. And if the institution gets caught and the whistleblower is right, then the whistleblower can make money off of this shit, like $10,000 or something, up to $10,000 of stuff if they sue and successfully figure out that they were doing the abortion and breaking the law, essentially.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, it's wild. Claudia, what do you think?
You know, I will never understand pro-life folks up until they tell me like a good explanation as to why they're pro-life. But when a pro-lifer tells me you're just killing babies, I'll be like,
What constitutes as good to you?
an example, something more than I want to be able to hold a conversation and not have that sentence be you're killing a baby.
Okay.
Like, and I guess my issue with that is because these people are basically saying, you know what, don't have abortions,
Right.
have your kids. But then these are the same people that are voting against a better medical health system for women who the reason why they are not wanting or choosing to not have this child is because they can't afford it, because they know what comes with the responsibility of a child.
Right.
And they won't understand that concept. But then it's kind of like, well, don't have an abortion, just have your kid. But then you give your kid away, and it's like, why did you have a kid just to give it away? So there's no win in this situation.
Oh, so you think that if somebody's like give it up for adoption, they would still
They're still going to be
judged?
I genuinely think that these same people that are saying I'm pro-life will judge you. Like, why are you giving your kid away?
No.
And a lot of times there have been many cases where women do choose to have the child and they choose to put it up for adoption. There's nothing wrong with that, just as there's nothing wrong with a woman who chooses to have an abortion.
Right.
I don't see an issue with that. At the end of the day, they're both a choice that you're making. But it's insane to me that they stand for something, but when it comes down to voting laws, which I guess that if they truly do affect states and the laws that are placed on these states, these are laws that you should vote for, like better medical health system, better assistance for mothers, single mothers, but it doesn't really show that.
Why do you think people opt to have an abortion rather than give the baby up for adoption? Like, why do you think that they opt for that option instead of the adoption option?
You know, I ask myself that a lot, where I'm like, why? You know, I would think it'd be easier, but at the same time, I can only imagine a woman carrying that child, building an attachment. I can only imagine that it's not easy to just be like, okay, here, take my baby.
No, either way is
just
hard,
as it's
right?
not easy to have an abortion. Like, a woman is not going like, go have an abortion today. No, like, an abortion is a lot on the woman's body. Like, I personally know of 2 women who have had abortions and they've been completely distraught. Like, just, I can't believe I had to do this. And the reasons why they had to do it was because family situations,
financial
situations, things that
Out
things
of your
happen.
control.
Things happen.
Out of your control.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. And I don't understand the men who are making these laws for the women.
And I think, you know what? I saw a few I saw a few things that people are like, okay, if you want to make sure that women are not out here having abortions, then let's also have men contribute to this, because a woman cannot have a baby without a man, right?
Yeah. As much as feminists want to say they can.
Right. Like you need a man. And they're like, what is it called when men don't have babies, or
I forgot the medical term for it, where they're just shooting blanks, right? The vasectomy.
Vasectomy.
For
There you go.
When they cut you.
Yes,
stuff.
yes.
Oh, okay,
so
okay.
they were like, you could do one that you can undo later on.
Yeah.
And that way it's easier.
Yeah.
Like a woman doesn't have to worry. The man is being kept accountable as well for, reproducing. So why not do that? And I think those are good questions to ask, because I was watching something about a representative down in Texas, and he was focusing, because a lot of people were like, well, what about when a woman or a young lady or a young girl is raped? Like, where does that stand? And this idiot was basically saying, no, we will make sure to clean the street of rapists. We will make sure there's no rapists in Texas and no more rape in this world. And I'm like,
wow.
You do realize
Batman
that when women get raped, I'm sure there are instances where it's out in the street walking through an alley, but normally the highest percentage is through someone a family member, a friend, a neighbor, someone you trust that is able to do that and have that encounter with you. And it's just, I don't know, it mind fucks me, I guess I could say, when I hear these people just, and like you said, it's men.
Yeah, men are stupid.
Sometimes I'm like,
Yeah, no, men don't know how to think for shit.
Yeah.
Like men, I see why we have the rep we have. I'm not stupid, right? Like I know why we have the rep we have.
Right.
But I don't subscribe to hating all men.
Right.
Like I'm not bunched up into a bunch of men, but I do see why they have the rep that they do. Because we're stupid. We're stupid for a lot of things.
There's some, I don't know.
Like,
it's a lack of
understanding.
Yes.
It's ignorance.
Yes.
It's ignorance.
Yes.
I also, like, that ties into a lot of other things, right, that women go through and women have to deal with. I'm sure you have to deal with. I don't know your womanly stuff. But I'm sure that's what women have to deal with, right? Some of these, like, not condoms, tampons and pads and all that shit should be free, right? Should be stuff that you're able to get access for free, right? That you should be able to that you shouldn't have to pay for, essentially, right? It shouldn't be another expense, right? And then some people can't afford that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like, and it should be free. And again, it's these men, who are running the show and are speaking.
I mean, even in public restrooms, the ones that do have the tampon available, like I believe you have to put 25 cents.
They still have those
in there. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know where it was. I would like to say it was the wedding we went to in the woman's bathroom, but I could be mistaking it for another place. But I'm pretty sure it was there. And if it wasn't there, it was at Lake Geneva at a restaurant I went to. But they literally just had a bunch of tampons
that you can grab,
that you could just grab if you need it.
That's dope.
And I'm like, I appreciate that. And something I also appreciate at work is that they keep tampons. I mean, I do work in an environment where we're all women, so everyone kind of like tries to have tampons. What are you looking at?
What is that noise?
What noise?
No, you're fine. Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, B. What do you hear? Now I'm like,
it's like a crackling sound. It's like it's crackling.
So I heard that earlier too. I don't know if it's the walls. I've been telling my landlord that these walls, there's something going on with them because like kind of just, but I don't care. It's not my building.
Tampons.
Tampons. So at work, we just try to have a box, you know, like, I don't know, whoever notices. Some people don't use tampons. Some people choose to use that underwear that I don't know. Something a little bit more more friendly to the environment.
Like a pamper?
Yeah, it's specific types of underwear, and they have on
a lining thing.
A lining thing, and it's like thicker, or you could get something thinner. It depends.
And you just let it go.
I'd be terrified of that, just because I'm like, right. But I know someone who uses it and she likes it.
No accident yet.
No accident so far. But I'm like, okay.
I can't believe that happens, by the way, still. It's very impressive.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, tampons, I agree. They should be. I think condom themselves should be free too.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, you're trying to avoid pregnancies for women who don't want to have kids who will potentially have.
How many people would actually use them if they were free, though?
I don't know.
At my job, we have them and people use them. Like they're like do grab them and people use them to have lubricants and women condoms.
Well, yeah, but you work in an environment where that's the education too. I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't see, and that's the thing. I guess it depends on agencies. I do think that agencies, especially like government agencies, they should all be inclusive. I don't think government agencies should be based on like religion anymore.
How so?
Just because, like, for example, the agency I work for, I'm not going to say any names. They were based on like Christian values. Okay. But now they're not. However, you can still see some of those values, and you could still sense it. Like even for Halloween, they don't call it Halloween. They call it harvest. And I'm like, just call it whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? Or like Halloween/harvest or whatever it is. But you don't see that inclusiveness whatsoever, like for the LGBTQ community or education on healthy sex life or none of that. Like I personally don't see it. It's something that you have to, based on your discretion, discuss with your client if you feel like your client needs that assistance. But it's not something that if the client were to walk in, they'd be like, oh, okay, I feel welcome.
Right. Yeah, no, I could see that. Yeah, I work in a place that's like supposed to be all of that, you know?
Right,
so
right.
There is a lot of, like, it's normal there to, like, they basically let the people do and walk around and as they please. There's a lot of stuff that's like openly thing. You can go in there and speak to somebody about sexual stuff. There's a health educator there who jobs is just to do that. Educate you on shit, on sexual stuff. But yeah, I agree. That's funny. Harvest,
yeah. I don't know. That's more Thanksgiving to me than Halloween. I'm like,
harvest.
Why are we harvesting?
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah, no. Yeah, even other stuff is still weird, right? Like for Christmas, like we're not allowed to put stuff up for Christmas. For certain things, we're not allowed to put up things, right?
Yeah. Like I know once for Christmas, I used the bag Xmas, not Christmas, like Christ.
No, yeah.
And someone had a huge fit. Because it's like you're taking away. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry, but to me, Christmas was never about religion.
Oh, God. Here we go.
Like, I genuinely enjoyed Christmas just because also, quick history. In Cuba, they weren't allowed to celebrate freaking Christmas till like 1990 something.
Okay, it's pretty late.
So it was pretty late. So for me, Christmas was just like, oh, cool, like Santa. It's supposed to be this fat dude in a suit.
Yeah.
That's it. So that's how I grew up. And then later on in life, I realized like, oh, some people celebrate it because of this.
Yeah.
But people, of course, will not listen to why is it that you don't really see it. And on top of that, I'm not a religious person. Like.
Yeah. Nah, that's fucking weird. That's a weird conversation to have. But why
Right.
can't we? Like, if you celebrate like Hanukkah and all this other stuff, like just put that up.
Right. And that's an argument I had at work too. I was like, why are we always celebrating Christmas? What about the people that celebrate Hanukkah? What about, and then there's Kwanzaa too, I think.
Kwanzaa.
And I'm just like, you don't know what our clients.
Isn't there like Yom Kippur too? Isn't that a different one? Or is that Christmas too?
There's a bunch. It's a bunch throughout December. And I'm just like, why don't we make it all? I mean, I understand you can't every little one, but the mainstream ones at least that we are aware of.
But they don't do that either. Even like I've suggested that, like, and they were like, no.
Yeah, I've suggested it too, and
We can't do shit.
They were like, mm-mm. Like, but we're okay with Christmas.
Yeah. I stopped saying Merry Christmas to a lot of people.
Yeah.
I just say Happy Holidays.
Yes, I'm trying to actually do that as well. Yeah.
Very broad. Gets straight to the point. Doesn't offend anybody because we're in a very sensitive time.
Yes. Yes.
Christmas is not, Merry Christmas. I used to be like, hey, Merry Christmas.
Right.
Unless you tell me Merry Christmas, then I'll Merry Christmas you back,
Right. Yeah. Depends. I'm really trying the Happy Holidays.
So how do the PG peoples, or PC people, how do they respond when people be like, God bless you? Or bless you? Are we attacking those people too? I don't believe in Christ. Stop blessing me. I don't believe in God.
That's weird though. How do you? I mean, because you don't believe.
And then some people still say, "Oh my God." I still say, "Oh my God." And
yeah, I say, "Oh my God" all the time. I don't know. I'm like, okay, thank you. Like, bless you. Thank you. Like that. It'd be weird. I'm waiting till the day though that someone's like, no, don't bless me. Like I'm not.
I gotta give it to Mexican people. Well, Hispanics, Latinos. Mm-hmm. Gotta give it to the Latinx community. We say salud.
Yeah.
Nothing that has to do with Jesus Christ or God.
True. I'm about to say cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. Thank you. That would work.
That works.
That would work. See, you don't offend anybody. Right. But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, I want to know how they respond to that. Yeah, how do you respond? Have you ever like seen an old person and they were like, God bless you.
Yeah.
Dear.
I mean, you're not gonna be like, don't say that.
Yeah, don't say that to me, Grandma. I don't believe in that stuff.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so how do you react to that? How come we're not attacking those people? Because it's the same old people that have the fucked up beliefs that everybody's against.
Right. I don't know. All I know is that from now on, I'm saying cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. What does that mean?
Cheers.
Translation.
And then you say thank you.
Yeah.
I told somebody, I was like, bless you, and they coughed and they were like, I didn't sneeze. And
that's awkward.
No, I didn't feel awkward.
No.
Then I responded and I said, imagine only wanting to be blessed when you're sneezing. Imagine that. Imagine only wanting to be blessed when you sneeze. What if I'm just like, bless you? God bless you. Yeah, see?
I have people say bless you all the time and I'm like, I cough.
I do it all the time.
But
when people cough.
Thanks.
Yeah. Just say thank you. Just say thank you. You've been blessed.
Yeah. I tell people to stop sneezing because usually I tell people like, oh, bless you. Bless you. Like, you're done. After, like, you're done. Stop. My supervisor, once she starts sneezing.
It's a wrap.
That's it. And it's a weird ass sneeze. Like, she has the most unique sneeze. To record her one of those days. It's like one of those weird ass knees, and it's just back to back. And I'm like, you're done. Like, no more bless you. Like, that's it.
The weirdest one I've seen is the one that like they tried to prevent it.
Yeah.
And it just sounds like you're doing like you're just shaking your head.
You're having like spasm.
Yeah, like you're spazzing or some shit. It's like
especially during COVID times, I'm not gonna lie.
you try to start like, hold it back. We're fucked, man. We can't sneeze no more. Nobody can cough anymore. I don't give a fuck. I'd be like, I'm coughing, Joe. Like, it happened at the wedding.
Oh, really?
I had like the air was like directly in my face, and I think my mask was also contributing to like maybe dust or something, because the mask is cloth.
Yeah.
So now I think like little things are in your nose and shit. And so I just started fucking like couldn't stop coughing.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and then I was like, well, I'm getting out of here. And I went outside and I let it out. I was like,
Yeah.
because that was bad. But
Yeah.
you know, people are gonna look at you crazy. Now you can't do it.
The first cough, boom.
Yeah, the first cough, and it's like, whoa,
Yeah,
buddy.
Yeah.
So let's move on. We've got this one will be quick. I just wanted to see what you thought, and then I also figured out what I was arguing. I think.
Okay.
And it's this JMB thing, right? This is kind of old for people that fucking are listening and are like, oh my god, they're really gonna talk about this. Fuck you guys. We're here today. We're here today. This is what we have. So Z and Beyonce recently got in trouble for selling. Not for selling. They got in trouble for being in a commercial for Tiffany and Co. For people who don't know what Tiffany and Co. is, it's an expensive jewelry brand. You know, typically with that teal colored stuff. It's very popular for diamonds and all this other shit, right? I'm pretty sure you guys have heard raps about it. Anyway, they made a commercial for that, and in the commercial, they had a painting of Basquiat in the background. The Basquiat painting was a painting that nobody had ever seen, that nobody's ever knew existed. Only obviously the rich, right? And so it started like anything else, you know. Started people talking about it, and they were arguing that the artists would want their art to be displayed somewhere, especially as one of like, you know, Basquiat, one of popularity, right? He's a popular painter that pretty much I would assume a lot of people know if you know art, right? And so they were mad. They were like, this should be displayed everywhere, blah 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 blah. This is what the artist would want, right? And now I figured out, Claudia, what my argument was.
Okay, go.
Why do people only support people after they're dead? See, because painters, I've read this before. I don't know where I read it, but I read it somewhere. Painters were not popular. Most painters weren't popular when they were alive. They were more popular after they're dead.
Yeah.
And their art was worth more. And I've seen that with a lot of things, right? With a lot of art. Artists, music, things like that. You've seen it, right? Where the popularity grows when the person dies.
Yeah.
So why are we mad at that? Why are we mad that we can't see the art, but yet when the art was out for the world to buy before they were dead, nobody gave a damn. Now it's worth millions. You know?
People are just mad they're broke.
Yeah.
I genuinely think that, because that's true. A lot of the artists, I mean,
they were poor.
All of them, like Van Gogh, like all of these people were just messes, right?
Yeah.
And when people of money would ask for them to paint portraits of them, or to paint portraits or whatever, or just paint a tree, you know, they would get paid. Essentially, they would get paid shit. But these were people of money that would ask for this, and they're like, whatever, you're just a painter. I don't know why people get upset about that. I enjoy art, but I'm not into it like that to be able to be like, this is probably why. I don't understand.
So what's something that you're into that you're like, well, that would have that kind of impact on you? Like, you'd be like, damn, like, why can't I see that shit? Why can't I go somewhere and see that shit? Like, why is it being kept a secret?
It probably would be music. Like, I get pissed when artists, they just do little snippets of, you know, when they're in the process of creating music, they do a little snippet of like a song, and then the song is not in the album. And I'm like, bro, I waited this whole time for that little snippet and it's not on here. So I guess I understand.
And what if somebody else owned it? Like, one of your favorite artists. Who's your favorite artist?
You know, at the moment, I don't have anybody. I'm not going to lie.
Okay, so?
Kehlani.
Okay, so if Kehlani had a secret album that was getting tossed around between rich people, you know, and then it's like, oh, you know, this person paid $3 million for it. Or, you know, Berto paid $1,000 for it, and now Claudia doesn't have it, but I do.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
like that's
yeah.
I get it, right? I get that argument, but I also said like, why don't we support these people when they're alive, right? I
Yeah.
think Frida and some of these other people are good examples.
Frida's
of
a
people
great example.
who were poor.
Yeah.
Like they were dirt poor. Nobody bought their art when they were alive.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's facts. Again, we're not an educational podcast, but I've read things where people have said that they were poor. They were poor when they were alive, or they weren't as popular. Maybe not poor, but they weren't as popular.
I mean, I definitely know that Frida was not popular whatsoever. She was seen as a total outcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then look, Britney, right? I know we love Britney, right? We love Britney. Everybody loves Britney, right?
Yep.
And I get it. Maybe we didn't know, we weren't educated, but it seemed like it was always there. We just never paid attention to it, right? The conservatorship, right? That she had, and her dad was under control. I don't know when that started. Whenever it did, he took over, and at some point, we were all still supporting the music, and it was going straight to her dad.
Yeah. I feel like people started to come out and say something when she started posting those videos.
Weird videos.
Of her. And, I mean, let's be honest. We're fascinated with artists going downhill. There's something about that fascination, and everybody's like, oh shit, Britney's at it again. But then it turned into, wait, something else is actually going on. And then that's when
But we still supported the music.
everything blew up.
Like, we still supported the music. We still supported her dad. Because in that instance, Britney's not making money.
Yeah.
The dad's making the money. Dad's making the money, right? So how come we didn't stop? If we care so much about art. Same thing with Aaliyah, right?
Yeah.
The uncle recently, from what I hear, this guy's a piece of shit, right? He's a very an asshole. Nobody likes him, right? He hid the music from the world. Like, you couldn't get her music on streaming services. You couldn't buy it anywhere. Like, you couldn't get it anymore. If you didn't get it when it came out, you weren't getting it, right? He held that shit home. And now it comes out. You can listen to it on streaming services. You can go buy it on streaming services. But nothing changed. He still owns
everything.
Yeah. And the person we hated becomes the person we love.
Right.
For the art.
Yeah. I don't know. It's weird how art works, especially. And now that you mentioned that, I was talking to my sister actually, and she mentioned something about Taylor Swift, where Taylor Swift was with this dude, and it was like she was under the label, and she owns, which this to me, when I was like, what the fuck? I can't believe you can actually do that. She owns her lyrics, but she does not own her music.
No.
And so I believe that she is recreating all of her past albums. So she's able to take ownership of it. And I'm just like, bro,
you know who did
that's
that too?
insane.
JoJo.
Did she?
Yep. JoJo, you watch, I'll send you the clip of it. There's a YouTube clip of it. She's under the same label, the Aaliyah label. Oh my God. And she had to re-record all her music, and it was a struggle to even get her name.
No wonder she was like, am I no? Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Because for the longest time, I'm like, man, I cannot find that makes sense.
She re-recorded her music. She had to re-record her music and do it over. And none of the shit that she made when she was a kid was at our disposal or at her disposal for her to make money off of it. So she was just, so a lot of these artists are just like, fuck it, I'm not going to make music.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
you know, like, why would I make music? You got all control over it. I'm not gaining nothing out of this.
Right. Right.
You know? And so that's what happened. And that's what I'm saying. But we support it now.
Right. I guess it's the fact that we can
get it.
We know we can get it. Because when things are so accessible to us, we're kind of like, whatever. But when we know, it's like this fascination. Even with fashion, I feel like fashion plays such a huge role too with like, for instance, like what you have on right now. Nobody would wear that brand in a while. Like people were just like, oh, whatever, it's construction, right? But now I see that they have, I believe it's like a streetwear type thing now.
Work in progress.
And people just, they're like, okay, we know it's expensive, but we want it. And the minute it becomes unexpensive, that's the minute people are like, I don't want it anymore. And I feel like Supreme is I mean, I know Supreme is expensive, but I feel like it was so over, like but I feel like it was so overhyped though that people now are like, yeah, Supreme, but there's this and this and this and this.
No, yeah, the Supreme stuff, it's still huge.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And that's why I jumped off. I jump off.
A lot of people, yeah.
I jump off when things take off.
Right.
I'm notorious for that.
Yeah.
The Croc thing. I haven't bought a pair of Croc ever since.
Yeah.
I was wearing Crocs for the longest. They were called ugly. People said that I was crazy for wearing them everywhere. And now it's a fashion statement, right?
Yeah.
And so now I jumped off of that wagon. I don't know why I'm like that. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. But I don't like jumping on things.
Yeah. No, my girlfriend is actually the same, and it's kind of annoying sometimes.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, bro, like, even when it comes to artists, she's like, I don't care for this artist, and I'm like, but why not? She's like, it's they're so overplayed. And then she's kind of like, even with shows, like we've watched American Horror Story, and she'll watch it with me, but she's just kind of like, a lot of times it's just overplayed, and when things are overplayed and like it gets boring. It doesn't have an interest anymore. And I'm like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I'm always
basic,
seeking
though.
for the next thing.
Yeah, no, I'm like, I'm behind. I'm like, what? I'm honestly though, I'm the complete opposite. I'm the person where everybody's like, yo, yeah, and then I'm just like, oh my god, I'm like that
You're
was
late.
it like a year ago, and I'm like,
That's how my girlfriend's the same way.
Well, it's cool now.
Yeah. My
Like,
girlfriend's
whatever.
the same way.
Yeah.
That's how I am. I'm always moving on to the next thing, the next cool thing that's available. I'd like to say that I have a very good grasp on things that are gonna be popular.
Yeah.
At some point, or they're gonna be cool at some point. Like this instant, like wrestling right now, like it's super, like it's popping and it's popular.
People,
There's rappers who are in mainstream people who are hopping on and they're trying to make it that right.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll ever stop liking wrestling.
Right. I mean, wrestling, I feel like for me at least in like 7th and 8th grade, it was very hyped. And then I felt like it kind of slowed down and it died. But now it truly, especially with not so much the popular, like the WWE, but like the other stuff. I've heard a lot of people being into it.
Yeah. So it's taken off. And that's how I am. I don't know why. It's annoying to some people, like you said. But I don't like it. Very few things I stick around from the beginning, and then when it becomes popular, I still like Kendrick is one who, no matter how overplayed they do him, I'm always gonna like him. There's a few things that are like that, but other things like fashion stuff like that, I just move on to the next. I buy things I like.
Right.
I buy things I like, and if they get too hypey, I kind of pull back. You know? I'm always wearing some brand that nobody knows. Like somebody who works at that, they were like, oh. You're always wearing some shirt that like nobody fucking knows what the fuck that shirt came from. Like, like so I don't know.
Yeah.
But what else we got? What else did we say we were gonna talk about?
The teachers.
Oh, the gay
teacher.
teachers.
Yeah.
Gay teachers.
Well, I don't know if that girl was she gay? The one with the flag?
Oh yeah, I don't know if she was gay. Or they were gay.
Yeah, they.
But yeah, so me and Claudia were talking. And apparently there's been a lot of controversy around the community with some of the teachers doing things for the community and showing their support, basically. And there's been some backlash, and then people have been getting booted from their establishments of work. Yeah. And one of them was Claudia, the guy, right? You said
it was a guy, yeah.
What was he doing?
So from what I read, I remember it said he did agree with the school. I don't know if it was in writing. I don't know what it was, but I know he agreed to not disclose his sexuality.
Oh.
But he disclosed it to his class that he is a bisexual man. He identifies as a bisexual man. When the principal or whoever found out, he got fired.
Damn.
So I read it and I'm like, it's tricky because you did have this conversation.
Yeah.
And you knew what you were getting into. But then again, why do you need to hide? Like, kids nowadays, kids nowadays could care the fuck less. Kids now, they don't care.
Does it matter what grade they're in? Is this what the art? You think that's where the problem stems from? How old kids are? Like what
maybe
did you know what grade that was?
It didn't maybe say.
It was like what do you think? Should it matter all the way across the board?
I don't know. Like, I don't care.
No?
Like, no, I don't care if your 6-month baby sees two people of the same sex kissing and they're like, they don't know, they could care less. I don't care if a 2-year-old, a 10-year-old, like, who cares?
Mm-hmm.
But I guess, I don't know, I guess some parents are okay with their kids watching sex scenes.
Yeah.
Like, oh, wait, you're not supposed to see that.
Or mom and dad kissing.
Right, but it's not okay for people
Dad
of the
and
same
dad
sex.
to kiss.
Right.
That's interesting.
I don't. I personally don't. I mean, I don't see an age where it's like, oh, it's too young, or I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
However, I mean, I do see an age where kids, it takes time for a kid when it comes to like sexual acts, of course. But when it comes to just simply two people in relationships.
Or saying that you're like,
right, or
I
saying
still
that
don't understand why we even have to broadcast that. Like, that's
Yeah.
another thing. Like,
I know.
like, why should we have to broadcast anything?
Yeah. Like, it's funny because at work, they were being stupid and they were talking about something. They were talking about how one of them just goes and she has a very flirty voice with like guys, but she's like, oh, but I also have a flirty voice with girls. And so I was kind of like, okay, but you're like,
straight.
you're straight, you're not attracted to women, so why are you flirting with women?
Right.
I was like, that's the issue as to why a lot of times same-sex relationships with women are not respected and are being sexualized because that's how you're doing it.
Yep.
And she's like, no, like, I'm a part of the community, blah, blah, blah. And one of them was kind of like, well, Claudia, like, as she doesn't know, or she didn't know that because you don't need to know.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's like, if you ask me about my partner, I'll be like, yeah, I'm in a relationship. She's great.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how most people found out. They were like, oh, because they would ask me like, oh, what's his name? Her name is Jade. Like, so I'm just like, I don't feel like I could tell you I'm in a relationship.
Do you feel offended?
No, I don't care.
Okay. Yeah, I figured that much.
I don't care. But she was kind of like, well, something like, it's just fun to flirt sometimes. And I'm just like, no, it's not, because you don't know the struggle I do. And she's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, I'm in a relationship with a woman.
Yeah.
Like, I know what that's like. Like, when you walk down the street with your husband holding hand, I'm sure you don't get cars beeping and none of that. You don't get someone saying some crazy shit at you and you being like, let's not hold hands till we walk a little bit further, because we don't know what people are capable of. Like, why, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, I shouldn't have to. I don't have to disclose to you what, like, if I walk in through the door and you're like, wait, what? I don't give a fuck. Like, yeah.
Yeah, you're supposed to, like, not care. I don't know, man. I don't fucking give a shit.
Yeah.
I really can't stress that enough. I don't give a shit. Now I've learned a lot. Like, I've grown as a person a lot when it comes to that. I've grown a lot as a person. A lot of things have changed in my life.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't change me.
Right.
Like, I'm still me.
Yeah.
Just my outlook on things changed, right?
It's different.
The way I view things changes. And I guess now it kind of bothers me sometimes. Like, I find myself getting bothered by things now more than I used to.
Yeah.
Because it's annoying.
Right. I know a lot of people who are, they're not, they may not be people of color. They may not be people from the community, but they're kind of like, but why do people need to explain themselves regarding certain things? You know what I'm saying? Like, when it comes to people of color, when it comes to people from the community, like, who the fuck cares? Right? Like, if you like them, you like them. If you like the person, you like the person. That's it. That's all you should care about.
That matters.
But, there's people, I guess for me, I also see it as like, there's people in this world who come from different upbringings, people in this world from different generations. And as much as I'm kind of like, well, you should understand. Well, you know what? No, you don't need to understand. No. As long as you respect, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't expect you to understand something that you didn't grow up like learning, that your parents didn't really.
Just respect it.
Right. Just respect it. And that's what I'm cool with. Like, it's not going to bother me that, I don't know, an uncle from somebody is a homophobic. I could care less.
Yeah.
I could care less. Respect me. Don't come at me because then I'm going to be disrespectful too.
Yeah.
But that's cool. Okay, you're a homophobic. You're going to stay over there. You know what I'm saying? But whatever. It is what it is. That's who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not going to expect people to change. And it's something you have spoken about. Like, we want people to change so they fit into what we believe in. And it's like, that's not society.
No, it doesn't work that way. And we should, and I'm sure we have things that they do that we're like, damn, why you like that? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, and that's just everybody. That's just humans in general, right? And again, it boils down to respect.
Exactly.
And we respect each other.
Exactly.
Can we be in a room and you not fucking say something off the wall and shit that's gonna get your ass beat? You know,
right.
And that's what it boils down to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't think people get it. I don't think people understand. It's so annoying. Humans are annoying. Like I can't stress that enough.
Yeah.
I can't stress that enough. I find myself talking about that all the time. About how annoying and stupid people are. And how we constantly have to maneuver through things and everything. Like, even some of the things that people argue for, right? That are pro something. Like, even that's annoying to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, we're trying to change the way people think and talk and all these things. And it's like, that's not going to work.
Right.
I don't care how much, like, somebody can show you all the support you want in your face and then still be fucking shady behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Still be the shittiest person in the world.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. 100%.
There's no, I legit give no energy to anything. Like, I've told people this, like, I don't give a fuck about birthdays. I don't give a fuck about holidays. I don't give a fuck about a lot of things. Realistically speaking, it's really bad. And somebody outside looking in would look at that and be like, damn, you're fucked up. Like, you're fucked up. But that's the reality of things. I don't care for too many things. I care for the people I care for. And if those things make them happy, then I will do those things to make my people happy, right? Because I'm all for making people feel happy and being okay. Like, that's all I'm for. Like, I really don't care about all this other shit.
Right.
None of all that other shit phases me. None of the other shit bothers me. I just live my life and I like to live it comfortably.
Yeah.
I like to leave people alone. Like, if you like them, you like them. If you don't, you don't. Don't come near me when we're around them. That's all.
Exactly.
I don't play sides. I don't do the in-between shit. Like, the respect I show you, Claudia, is the respect I'm going to show you everywhere. You know, I'm not going to switch up on you. The same thing with Keith. The same thing with anybody. Like,
right. Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
But, people.
There's just, I don't know. I guess people are interesting. People are interesting. For me, I'm the type of person that you know where you stand. Like, that's it. Like, in my life, you know where you stand. And a lot of times, like, I'm not the friendliest. Like, I'm not gonna let you in right away just because I'm like, I don't know you, right? Yes, you need to gain my trust. Yes, I need to know who you are. Like, I don't call people friends that easy. You know, you're an acquaintance. That's it. I know you. Oh, this person I know. You know, like this person I know. And some people take it personal. They'll be like, somebody you know. I'm like, would I call you in the case of an emergency? No. So you're not my friend. Like that. It's that simple. And then there are friends who turn into acquaintances. Like, and it's okay. Yeah. It's okay for those things. But people are just weird. I don't know. People are different.
I keep saying this. I might not be alive for it, but one day we'll be able to have the conversations that I want to have. Like, for real.
Yeah.
Like, people say that they want to have these conversations, but they're not ready. Like, and that's what I'm saying, right? Like, there's so many conversations I want to have with people, and every time I'm in a situation now where I'm like, yo, I catch myself and I'm like, do you really want to have this conversation? Right. Like, for real. Not like this.
Yeah,
like, I want to have it for real.
Yeah.
And I've had that. I've sat there and I've told people that, and I'm like, y'all not ready for it. Right. You're not ready for the conversation.
Right. It's kind of like when you call someone who's close to you out, and then they get mad.
Yeah.
And it's like, am I being a shitty friend for telling you the truth? Or am I being a good friend for telling you the truth and not sugarcoating shit that I know is going to affect you in the long run?
Some people don't understand that concept, though.
You know? So for me, tell me the truth. Yeah, of course. I'm fucking human. I'm probably going to be salty because nobody likes to hear
the truth.
Because usually it's like, damn, that's
or at
really
least
how
the
you
person's
feel.
truth.
Exactly. But like my girlfriend is that type of person. She will keep it 100, and I think that's something that I appreciate. Yeah, she's here to love me, but she sure as hell is not gonna sugarcoat.
Well, I'm trying to get
shit.
sure on that level, right?
No, she is not gonna sugarcoat shit. She's like, this is how I feel, we work on it. That's how you feel, you work on it. This is annoying me, we work on it. But there are people out there who just constantly sugarcoat things, whether relationship, friendships, and I'm not ready, Claudia. You never know. Like, there's so many things I want to tell friends, They're
not ready for it. Nobody's ready for the conversations that I'm trying to have. I can guarantee you that.
Right, yeah.
There's conversations with people that I know they're not ready to have those conversations. A lot of people I know.
Are the conversations more like, would you say they're personal conversations to have? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Let's say that I'm like, hey, yo, B, there's something I need to talk to you about, this and this and this and this about your life. Or is it something more of like, well, this is what the world, like just general or like personalized?
It's like a mix of both.
A mix of both, yeah.
It's a mix of both. It's conversations that people have that I want to have with them, but they're just not prepared for it. Because a lot of people like to say that they wouldn't get angry, and they would.
Oh, yeah.
They would.
Yeah.
Like, there's only one person I can think of that I've had a conversation with where we fucking argued, discussed, whatever the fuck you want to call it, at a very high volume. Mm-hmm. And we were cool. Is this person my friend? Probably not. But we were able to have that conversation, and we keep it mutual, and we keep it pushing.
Right.
There's no hard feelings. Every time I see this person, we're cool. Every time they see me, we're cool. There's no hard feelings. We know what it is. And I think that's the realest fucking person I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we have to be willing to have those tough conversations, whether it's about race, whether it's about relationships, whether it's about humans, whether it's about whatever the fuck. We should be able to have them conversations. And a lot of people don't want to have them.
People don't. And for me, the reason why a lot of times I keep shit to myself is because when I say things, it's like a bomb is coming out. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so much that I'm keeping where I want to call people out on like bullshit that I just sit there and I'm like, what kind of show are you putting on, and who are you putting it on for? Like, what are you doing with your life? Yeah. Right? Like, I'm not perfect. I'm sure I'd be lying to myself here and there when I'm like, I really do want to do this job. Like, this is what I want to do. No, I got to do it because I need to pay bills. Yeah. It's paying me right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, things that I'm like, but I don't know. People just don't like to.
No.
Don't like
to. You know what I'm saying? I can see. I will agree with you. Whatever you say that you think I am, I will agree with you if it's what I am. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, you talk to people, they're going to tell you 100 different things about me, and they're all going to be different. Like, everybody's going to have a different thing to say about me. It's
usually that Berto's an interesting one.
Yeah. It's either Berto's an interesting one, Berto's an asshole, Berto's a really nice person. I don't think I could ever see them get angry. I know who I am. Like, I consciously know who I am, and I know what people think of me.
I'm not going to lie. It annoys me when people say Berto's an interesting person. I guess because, like, with the podcast, too, I feel like I've gotten to know you. Mm-hmm. And, like, I knew you before, but not to the level where it's like, okay, I'm hearing everything you're voicing, right? Mm. And I'm just like, why is he interesting?
Yeah.
He's just speaking his truth. Like, is it because it's not what you're used to hearing? Mm-hmm. Because you're used to hearing, like, just pretty little things? Yeah. Like, I'm sorry, but that's not... What's so interesting?
No, there is no interesting. There's just me being me.
Exactly. And I'm like, it's funny because I heard that not that long ago when somebody's like, oh yeah, like B, from the podcast. He's an interesting one. I'm like, yeah, he's actually really cool. Like, he's one of the realest people I know.
Because I don't bullshit. Yeah.
They're just like,
yeah. It goes back to the whole community thing. Like, they all, like, people expect me to be away off the bat because I'm straight or because I'm this. No, motherfucker. I just act how I want to act. I will hug you. I will kiss you. I will fucking play along with the jokes because that's me.
Right.
But the assumption of me changes depending on who you talk to. Like some people might like me, some people I don't. I don't know. I don't care. Like I know who I have in my circle. I know who I appreciate. I know who's there for me and who's not. I did want to tell you this too, and we'll do it on here. But I've like how you said you've gotten to know me. I've really gotten to know you, and my respect for you has grown. I appreciate your friendship. I appreciate you as a person. There's like it's just you've really like changed my like we were cool.
Right. Yeah.
But now I feel like we're past that, right? Like we're past that, and that's a good thing. Like, I really appreciate your friendship.
I appreciate you too, man.
So it's been amazing. It's been amazing to see the person you've become. So that's not gonna change, man.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy I'm bisexual. I mean, that just really opened me up. Just because for so long I don't know. I feel like there was a time in my life where I was really lost. I was like, what the fuck do I like? What do I want? You know? And it's just like, I don't know. And I don't know. I'm grateful. I truly am. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for you guys. I think Keith, he's a special one, but Keith is there. I think he
holds it down when it has to. He holds it down.
Yeah, he holds it down.
Talk a lot of shit about him, but
he's always there. Like I genuinely can say that Keith, he's a real one. And I'm happy with the group of people I have in my life. Like I can literally count them. Yeah. And I'm sad with people that I'm like
didn't stick around.
It is what it is. Or people who do stick around, but you're kind of like isn't not the same anymore. But I'm cool with you. Yeah. You know. So no, I appreciate those words because I feel the same. It's like whenever Jade and I talk about like, you know, well, maybe one day we'll get married, you know, the girl talk. She's kind of like, but what's gonna happen with like B and Keith? like are they gonna be in the wedding? And I'm like, yeah, they're gonna be my men's.
We'll be there. We'll be somewhere there. I don't know how, but we'll be there.
I was like, I don't know, maybe Berto can like officiate the wedding.
I can hold the box with money in it.
Right, exactly. Do something, but I'm like those are the people you definitely do want in moments like those, you know, moments that matter. And even for my birthday that's coming up, she's like, you sure you don't want to do anything? But I'm like, I don't care. If you want to do something, do it with the people I care about. Just how she did it, I think last year. Where it was like those are the people that I truly care about. There are certain people in that group that I'm like, you know, because you just grow apart from people and you start seeing people for who they are.
That's natural.
Exactly. And I'm like, maybe that when I get back, I might. But I'm like, to be honest, I'm at a point in my life where I'm not going to tell my friends anymore, it's my birthday, let's go out.
No.
Like, if you truly want to say, hey, happy born day, I'm glad you are alive for one more year to celebrate your born day. Thank you. I appreciate it. I don't care for anything else. Like, I genuinely just want, if it were for me, I've spent birthdays by myself watching Netflix, and they've been the best birthdays.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Claudia, but I am not the most birthday person in the world. So
that's fine. That's fine.
I would probably hug you out, send you a happy birthday, and like how I do with my boys, take you out to eat somewhere and call it a day.
And that's fine.
Or get you a card.
I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know if it's with age. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, you get bored.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you're like, well, fuck it. Who cares? Like,
yeah.
It shouldn't matter.
Yeah. But I appreciate you too. I appreciate you too, B. We're there. Your family.
Hell yeah. Sure. We're there. Yeah, you're one of the bros now for sure. But yeah, let's get the fuck out of here. I think that's long enough. We're at an hour. Holy shit.
Damn. It was supposed to be short.
It was supposed to be a short one. So yeah, before we get out of here, Claudia, I do want to say that we are on all streaming platforms. We are on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and we are on Anchor for your ass. And we're on YouTube, so go subscribe. The Pushing Buttons crew and Keith would greatly appreciate it, even though he won't tell you. Don't you forget, we are your favorite podcast. And we are Artie, Claudia. We're out.
See ya.
That's it. Peace.